Let y'all see me for real. Yeah, I'll wait to see if someone come in. Not really tripping if someone does. It's gonna be real quick, but I just wanted everyone to see that there was something that happened over the whole planet, and it took place in the 19th century, y'all. It's just something that I found, and it's something I wanted to share. That when it comes to Native Americans and Native Egyptians, they have somewhat of the same story. So it's time to start doing. Excuse me, y'all. Time to start doing some research because we'll hear people say, Chris Harris, oh, you don't look nothing like those people, right? See, Chris Harris is my complexion, if not lighter. You know, I don't know if you put Chris Harris in the sun, he'll get any darker because spiritually, physically, he probably gets sunburned. And his brain will probably just fry because he'll believe that if you look at the sun, you'll go blind. If you're out in the sun too long, too much vitamin D, it's radiation. And he believes in stuff like gravity and radiation, uh, Native Americans being here for 20 to 30,000 years because they crossed some damn ice ring. And, that's just what it is. And it's all good, when you're debating those things and that. But, bruh, you stay out my lane, bro. You don't know shit about Egypt, man. Like, y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop. Um, but it's difficult. It's not so much as a stay in your lane thing, but it's like stop putting yourself in position as if you are the authority of every subject and title that everyone is talking about. So find your strongest point, something that you're like real good at, and stick to that, right? Stick to that. Some people might be good at reading something somebody else found and sharing it with people. Somebody might be good at investigating the person who created the information that someone is to find and read someone else's work, right? And that's what it is, That's what separates me from a lot of people. Um, I started making my journey into sharing information that I had with uh, with everyone that I wasn't really sharing before. So when I started sharing that information, people got upset. People were pissed off. They felt like betrayed because I talked about so many things for so long and I got things out. So I had a great deal of following where a great deal of them were leaving. And that's something that just happened, y'all. And so when I started sharing, that, sorry I made this mistake, y'all. Sorry that I said these things and these things they're inaccurate and I was just following what you read. I didn't want to give a subjective response. I just wanted to be objective. I wanted to follow the scientific method and what the scholars say. I wanted to express that to the best of my ability so people can see that, oh, there's a standard held here on Black Lotus Civilization Blog Talk radio show, that we're going to approach the information what we agree upon and what we disagree upon scholastically. But then I started bringing on people who, behind the scene that I had conversation with, and we're going over the the biases. Like, you have people who have a bias where they'll say, I only believe what someone who went to school, went to college, and got a degree has to say about anything. I only agree what they say in a peer review or researcher has to say. Then you have the polar opposite of someone's going to say, I don't believe anything they say. I don't believe anything the government says. I don't believe anything that a scholar says. I don't trust anything they say, or I don't trust anything that a religious person or theology has to say about anything. And it's just a bias. It's just everything ends right there, right? So many people just don't understand that well, if you're a male, that you gotta stop being a bitch. Man up about this shit. At the end of the night, when you go to sleep, this shit is not important. It's not. When you wake up in the morning, this shit is not important. So y'all need to stop being sensitive about this. You know what I'm saying? Take this information like you have a pair of balls. Okay? When you have a pair of balls and someone corrects you on something, you stand corrected. You don't try and find some wiggle room. Like let me go find something that says something close to what he says, but it's not what he said. Because if you actually followed exactly what I said, it would have took you down the line in a direction, which means that you're not an investigative researcher. It means you're just a poor researcher. So me, I am an investigative researcher. It's a skill that I have from having detailed experience into reading stuff like concordances, encyclopedias, thesauruses, dictionaries, of all kinds. Stuff that y'all just probably don't know about. So I have a grander view of things. Many of y'all might look up something, and what you find is that's it. That's it. That's all, and you get some type of euphoric type of feeling, and your adrenaline starts to get the rushing, the dopamines are firing, the synapses are going, and you're excited, and that energy is good, you know. And that's what I didn't want to take from people. I didn't want to take your feeling from, you know, feeling good because you discovered some information. You know what I'm saying? So, unfortunately, when I started coming clean and started bringing people to these conscious communities, that people were upset. They were upset when Ole Lacan expressed that, oh, in his tradition, women are not supposed to know about Odu Ifa and the tables and the culture and stuff. So when he says that, people who think they know about his culture and tradition, the eight families that he's connected to, that they well, those who do know the information, their immediate there's an immediate uh, refreshing agreement that this is something that they didn't want to say, because Pan-African is actually a bisexual cult that is ran by sorority sisters and a bunch of bent over paddle taking fraternity boys who have grown up. They may have gray hair like I got and all that, but they're still little frat boys. They could be in their 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s in the grave. They're still frat boys. So this whole Pan-African thing does not mesh right when you're looking into people who actually live over there and know their history. So we have this weird half Greek, half uh, African thing going on with Pan Africans who use the word Pan, which is Greek, and the word African, or Africa, which is Latin. instead of using a word from the continent. Instead of asking, the people what they call themselves and attach yourself to your culture, you're gonna go give a pube and an eyelash, and then they're gonna tell you your eyelash and your pubes is 40% West African and some Central Sub-Saharan African stuff, but you're not gonna go talk to the actual people. So when I started Black Lotus Civilization, originally Black Lotus Society, I only had two people. It was only two people. It was me. It was Hagos. Excuse me, not Hagos. Henok, me, Henok, and Rita. So when I started Black Lotus Civilization, I'm literally talking to someone who's talking to people back at her home in Cairo. So I'm getting information from her while going along with what Pan Africans are into. And I shook that Pan African stuff. What it do, man? Peace, smoke. Hey, there's a way that. Hold on. Yeah, I'll give you one. There's a way that I could bring you in here. I don't know how to. I never tried it though. I'm gonna try right now. Okay. Yeah, I don't think it will let me. Oh yeah, it will. I got you. I got you. I actually sent you the link, smoke. I sent you the link, man. So, you know, the thing that it didn't used to bother me before because I would laugh because I had an ego at the time, but now it does because it's like the biggest thing in the conscious community that blew everything up was Kemet on trial. My involvement in even being a part of anything going on in the community leading up to today, most of it was because of my involvement in what was called Kemet on trial. And people say, well, were you in the debate, Kemet on? I said involvement. I didn't say I was in the actual debate. So if my name was the name that was being called out, no matter how the situation came about, how my name and me and almost Shongo are being uh, brought up as people involved in the stuff, and everybody like gravitated towards almost Shongo, being older and from Cameroon, everyone gravitated towards him, and then everyone was shook when it was like, oh, the person who did the work on this Metanetter stuff that took it way past where Walter Williams was going, that's Lotus. That wasn't my name at the time. So if you're gonna look up and ask anybody, do you know who Lotus is? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get nothing. My name was Amun. You see me with shit. So if you're gonna look up and ask anybody, do you know who Lotus is? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get nothing. My name was Amun. You see me with shit.
What kind of?
So if you're
Hold
gonna look
on,
up
let me mute up.
and ask anybody, do you know who Lotus is? You know what I'm saying? Get nothing.
I gotta mute the other device.
What kind of? Hold on, let me mute up.
Ah, okay, yeah, now I see it. Hey, what you talking about, bro?
Oh, sorry ass Chris Harris. But I want to kick off something that when it comes to the Native Americans and the Native Egyptians, they got the same situation. So when it comes to them saying that, oh, we're not connected to the Olmecs and Aztecs and the Incas and all that stuff down there, but they get upset when we say, well, y'all not connected to ancient Egypt. Like ancient Egypt is Egypt is this many miles away from so-called West Africa. Y'all have nothing to do with that. Y'all not Egyptians and y'all look nothing like Egyptians. Now I know for a fact that a lot of those people in Egypt migrated there, and that's what they've told me themselves. And then you have some that'll say that they've always been there, but most of them who aren't, brown, dark complexion, your complexion, they are not from there. They have their migration story of migrating in there, and the same situation with the Native Americans. They're lying about who they are. They know damn well that they're Sicilian, Siberian, and all these other things, and we have too many ways to connect it with Iron Eyes Cody, those actors, those Ashkenaz actors who played all the roles of so-called American Indians in all those films, from black and white to color, the cowboy and Indian movies and all those movies. That was a perception that we had of who Egyptian is. But when we pull out the Moses story and all the Bible stories, according to this right here, and that's how we have to take it in the movies. And even the movie they did, the recent one, something about Egypt and the gods or whatever,
Yeah, gods of Egypt.
gods of Egypt. Yeah, it's showing that we and all that stuff about weird stuff going on, and they're extra tall, but everyone is pale. How they all pale living in Egypt like that? Like, I didn't see no
Not,
suntan lotion or nothing. Egypt is burning hot.
not likely. Just like you say, it ain't likely that Native Americans was all through Arizona, all through California, all through Florida, light as hell.
Light as hell, bro. It's impossible. It's impossible. I'm not even in the sun a lot. If I just sit in the sun a good week, right, at least 10 hours, I'm talking about really like sunbathing. Like, bro, I'm gonna be 2, 3 shades darker than I am right now. So there's no way that they lived 200, 300 years ago over here. One of the hottest places on earth is Death Valley. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that is the hottest place on earth. And everywhere around there, all you hear about is, man, it's burning up out here. There's no way they would have survived, bro. No way they've been able to survive and live. Were they gonna live in caves?
What
They would
caves?
have, they would,
Hey,
exactly.
they have to make their own caves, don't they?
Hey, that's the only way they can survive. They wouldn't be out flourishing, growing food and living like that. But I mean, that's the conditions. Same type of conditions over there. I'm sitting there trying to spark a battle with Chris Harris, man, because I think he's gonna run from that Coptic situation.
Yeah, you was killing him. He couldn't even let you get it out.
No, they don't want it out, and then not a coincidence going to me that I lied because it said that he reformed the church, the Orthodox Church, and I'm like, you idiots don't get it. I said the revival of the Coptic language, and that this word Coptic was created by them. So it's on them though to take that challenge. I don't know they're not. I know Chris Harris isn't. I know not a coincidence isn't. P isn't. They don't want that smoke, but it's cool. But so I want to ask them that why is it that y'all can look at Native Americans, you can see them my complexion and lighter, and you're gonna accept that. But when I show you the Egyptian, like on my thumbnail, who they're saying that's the way they looked 1,000, 2,000 years ago, 3,000, 2,500 years ago. But we show the Olmecs and Incas and the Aztecs and all that, and then we're seeing everyone's melanated, bro. It's like, how come Egypt be showing this stuff from 2,500 years ago to now, and they look like this? But over here, it's 500 years ago, and still in control, still in power. But I don't know. It was something I was trying to toss out. You know what I'm saying? See if he respond to it.
He about ain't gonna try to get down with that. He don't got enough information. Like you've been digging into that for a while now. You said you go
Yeah,
all the way back to
a couple decades.
yeah, before Egypt on trial. Yeah, I don't think he ain't got enough information to even be trying to come at you on that, bruh.
Nah, he don't. You know, it's Buddy says, don't no one know who you are. Like, bro, I introduced Rita Eloi to SETI. Like I said before, when they said that, I was like, man, so much in my ego. But now I feel like they do that shit for a reason. Like it's a reason why they're doing that, and now I feel like it's slander because outside of YouTube and Sonetta and them, no one knows who Chris Harris was. They don't know who he is. I was in a commercial with Denzel Washington. Millions of people have seen my face. I was in a battle rap at Power 106 on the radio. Millions of people have heard my voice. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're telling me that, but I have this past of actually being seen and known. Like I'm known in my city. Go to Chris Harris city. No one knows. No one's gonna know who he is. Thug's not gonna know who he is. Hustler's not gonna know who he is. Players are not gonna know who he is. You know, people gonna know who he is. People in a Masonic lodge, some fucking fraternal sorority weirdos, and a bunch of book reading Eurocentric loving ass shoot shell out Negroes. That's the type of energy and character that he created for himself and to attach himself to. Because even when he said he was a so-called Hebrew or whatever religious that he was a part of, he still has that like buck broken westernized way of thinking. I see him do it all the time. He's talking to everybody like a real westernized belief. I don't know, that shit used to bother me, but now I don't really care.
Yeah,
What's
I
the
know. I
slander?
wouldn't hang with him. Yeah, I wouldn't hang with him. So yeah,
He's a weirdo. That dude weird. Dude weird. He kind of feminine too.
he puts me in a mind like a religious dude. He always talking about the Hebrews. He always talking about Christianity. He always talking about the disciples and shit like that. So I don't know. I don't know if he religious or if he used to be religious and mad that he found out it wasn't true.
Yep, that's Chris. That's Chris, man. I knew when he started. He was all into Egypt. I crushed him on the Egyptian stuff. He don't want to talk about Egypt, just like Sean P. I crushed Sean P on the Egyptian stuff 5, 6 years ago. That's why they don't like me today. That's why they talk shit to me the way they be talking shit to me. You know what I'm saying? They're not man enough to admit it. But they're just a bunch of weirdos. Just a bunch of weirdos, man. But fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Not all of them are weird like that. So that's why I be on there, not a coincidence channel sometimes, chopping up with some of
Where you at the mounds or something right now?
them. Nah, out here in Azusa, man. Yeah, they don't want that full California work though. They don't want that full California work, man. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming, man. The city over here I'm in right now, Azusa, has petroglyphs that are about 8,000 years old.
They might be older than that.
Exactly. Exactly. And when I went on Not a Coincidence channel, and I mentioned that they're called the Shashamonga, and they're getting pissed off because like I have a response to their so-called information asking me about California. And I don't know whose channel was I on. I think I was on Cuddy's channel. It was Shy Sun. Yeah, Shy Sun. Shy Sun. They get pissed off when you know about some information, and they have to face that they don't have that information and knowledge, and they got to go look it up, which is cool. I say something, you say something I didn't know about it. I go look it up. That's a cool exchange of information. But for you to tell me something and I go look it up and I'm like, nah, man, this I wasn't dotted right, and this T they didn't cross it right. That's just ridiculous. Like, bro, you wouldn't even
Oh
know
yeah,
about
yeah, yeah, yeah. They stay with just the
this.
goofy shit. They
Exactly.
instead of them trying to just deal with the information you presenting, they want to go all off topic. You know, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's hard to have a conversation with them dudes, bro.
That's right, and that's intentional. That's
Like I ask them a question, they be like, yeah, well, how you spell that word right there, nigga, we ain't in no damn spelling bee. What do you mean how you
Yeah,
spell a
exactly.
word?
Exactly. That's what they do. That's what they do. So Shy Son gonna tell me he got 1,000 for it right now. I don't know, man. I don't know if he's hot about that California thing, but he ain't gonna step up to no one. He ain't gonna do it.
Who out about the California thing? Chris
Shy
Harris?
Son, nah, Shy
Oh
Son,
yeah,
Chris Harris don't
yeah,
know
he made
shit
it.
about a
Yeah,
lot of this shit.
Shot Son one made the challenge, right? He tried to go call A1 out. He tried to go call
Yep,
A1 out. Ain't no black people was ever in California before the Europeans arrived here. I said, Nick, man, you crazy? You ain't heard about the black California Indians? I mean, I didn't know their names, but yeah, we know, man. Queen Khalifa and all. Come on, bro. Like, you really ain't. I don't know if these dudes, I think they really got their heart set on that they came on the slave ship. Like, y'all got to get a little bit more understanding about what's going around. I mean, what's going on about this historical narrative. Y'all ain't really been paying attention. Y'all just be coming over here to argue. Y'all should have been diving into the information as it's
there
being
you go.
presented, even to see if it's valid or to see if it just made the hell up.
That's right. Instead, they're gonna be like, "Oh, one of the editors farted too many times in school or some shit." Bro, come
Right,
on,
that's
man.
crazy.
Yeah. So when I presented to Shy Son, Pico Pio, he get pissed off. He get pissed off. And what does he do? He goes and Googles Pico Pio, and it said Pico Pio had African ancestry that were slaves, but all his other ancestry came over here as some noblemen and shit. Huh? Leaving?
You woke up a
But yeah,
little bit. Okay, so when I stayed in California, right, I heard about Pico. These always say, yeah, Pico Street named after a black dude. I didn't really think nothing of it because, back in them times, I was still in school.
oh yeah,
So I'm thinking, oh, a black dude, oh, yeah, okay. Descendant of a slave, nigga, okay. What do you know? In my mind, I'm just like, yeah, so in my mind, I'm just like, so what do you do to get a street named after him? You know what I'm saying? I wasn't
right.
even on this. I wasn't on this indigenous shit. I'm talking about this. This was man. This was 40 years ago. So, yeah.
Hey, trip on this. If you go look up Pio and pull up his images, they're gonna show you an image where the motherfucker looked like he a German. Then you go
I
find
see.
another picture. You seen it?
I look when I was doing my debate on was it black people in California before colonial. I ran across Pio Pico. The only reason I didn't use him is because the information that I would have needed to use, I would have had to
You don't
buy
have
one. I would have had to get one of those paid subscriptions, and get a contract for a
it.
paid subscription. And I ain't want to go through
Yep.
all that. You know what I mean? I ain't want to go through all that.
That's how they do it.
Yeah.
Out here in Cali, that's how they do it. Hey, I had to go to the Keys Nation and talk to the people just to get the information. I'm like, yeah, what's going on? Because there ain't no way that y'all all my complexion. And, you know what I'm saying? They keep it 100 with you. And they tell you what they mix with. And they'll tell
Yeah.
you that straight up. Oh, yeah, we mix with Italian. Yup, yup. Oh, I'm mixed with Irish. I'm like, damn,
Hmm.
so y'all be mixed with all kind of different shit. I'm like, shit, me too. I'm like, what really
Right.
separates you from y'all? They like, yeah. And then I'm like, okay, so tell me about the Shashamonga and tell me about these mountains and all this shit on the mountains. And they always point back and they always say the same shit to the original people of California. They were like all black. They got the information and knowledge. And there's still people in Mexico who still got the information and knowledge to tell these motherfuckers, like, y'all crazy as hell, man. We was from over here.
even
Then you
in
got some,
Guatemala, even in
yep,
Guatemala, you can go talk to some of the Garifuna people, and they'll tell you, "Yeah, we always been here." They'll tell you where they came from. You know, they'll tell you how they got up in Guatemala, what with the history behind it, all this stuff. They don't want to look at all that though. They just got their eyes set on. They got their eyes set on the Middle Passage. They can't get. They can't. You know they can't be released from the Middle Passage. I'm like, bro, let that Middle Passage
Right.
go.
Headphones on. It's a damn shame, man. Damn shame. Uh, there's a lot of information on California too. That's going back, you know, times that people won't believe. Like that 8,000 years ago shit. That's new in comparison to a lot of stuff over here.
Right, just like scratching the surface, huh?
Yeah, it really is. It really is, man. I'm glad to see that the challenges are going where they are. Once the 100,000 ancient artifacts and civilization and all that shit is really pointed out, yo, it's gonna be a wrap. It's gonna be a wrap. Hold on.
Once we get access to the Smithsonian, it's gonna be a wrap. The Mormon records is gonna be a wrap.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if I had my hand on the Mormons, I keep my shit black. I don't people see certain shit. I don't motherfucker see me smoking or nothing. Yeah, if we get our hands on that, and the Mormon records out there in Utah,
Yeah.
and then we can pull all this information that everyone keeps trying to challenge us on and really show it.
You ever seen you ever heard of John Taylor?
Nope.
Okay, so John Taylor supposed to be an African American descendant that got entangled with the Ute Indians, right?
Hmm.
So I don't know if he really classified as Ute Indian, but I know he got up with him, so I think he was like honorary Ute Indian. But I'm really under the impression that he probably was a real Ute Indian.
Right.
And they just try to throw that African American part in there to mask his blackness, his Negroid phenotype to make it seem like was somehow, he had ventured out this way and got cool. What is a lone ass African American or a lone ass Negro doing all mingled in with the Ute Indians? They don't even how likely is that? What's the odds?
Yeah, that don't make sense.
Now that don't make no sense at all. You gonna leave from around your own people and just become a Ute Indian? I think they were saying something like he was a chief or something too. I'm like, now how likely is that? A straggling ass slave African end up being the chief of the Utes? Well, that don't make no sense to me. I'm gonna have to look into it a little farther though.
Yeah, that's a new story for me right there. I've never heard of that one.
Like I said, I just been constantly looking for shit interesting. You know what I'm saying? I've been coming across all type of shit. But like I say, the standard information that you get off these Google searches is gonna always allude to the mixing and mingling with enslaved Africans and Native Americans.
Right.
That's how they attempt to explain our proximity to the Indian paradigm. But if you ask me, I say that relationship is a little too. That relationship is a little too. It's too intertwined,
Right.
right? For them to constantly be trying to push. Oh, y'all just came from Africa. Now, okay, we just came from Africa, but we developed this tremendous relationship with the natives that seem to no longer exist anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And what's the other one that they're trying to poke at? Shit. Montezuma. Montezuma. I forgot who it was. Now they want to poke at Montezuma.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some wild shit. Oh man. So trying to think, who did you just beat up?
I just had a debate. I just had a debate with Lucky. I mean,
Yes. No, no, you
no,
not lucky.
YK the truth.
There you go. YK the truth, man.
I beat him. I beat him with base. I beat him with base sources. I had some better ones, but they was kind of lengthy in volume, and I couldn't really dig into them to get the pertinent information I needed. But I found some good correlations that tied niggas, Negroes. I just like to say niggas into the copper color perspective. So it wasn't nothing he can do really to dispute that. But try to suggest, oh, they also call these other people copper too. Not as much as they call the niggas. Not as much as they call the niggas copper color.
Right.
Nowhere near.
He thought he had one, huh? He thought he had a gotcha moment. Uh,
I didn't even realize the full extent of the copper color identity. I just thought, that's how they came over here to describe niggas and there was, hey, y'all copper colored. Okay, we need you to go here and do this. And now we're going to reclassify you niggas. I didn't know it was a whole little history behind the copper color that you can even trace from now all the way back to then. Probably even before then. As far as that descriptive,
yep, turned
that,
me.
that description go, yeah. It was crazy. I was constantly finding, so-called African Americans being compared to copper colored. I'm like, damn, I didn't even know it was that serious.
Yeah, they wasn't ready for it, man. They're not ready for that. Talking about cop, man. Oh man. Yeah. YK crazy as hell, man.
Yeah, he mad. He's still on a rampage about it. He'll get over it in a couple of more days. He'll, he'll come
You
to
know he's
realize that
sensitive. He is
right.
kind of
He'll come to
sensitive
realize that he should have never challenged that. He just should have. Why out of all the debates, he just made that one up out the blue. Out these niggas ain't gonna be able to prove this copper color. They ain't gonna be able to tie this in to Negroes.
I don't get that though. Don't they comprehend? Like, look, there's a dictionary that shows that this was a phrase used going back 400 or 500 years. If this is a phrase being used 400 or 500 years ago, that means that they had to come up with it before they put it on paper. It had to have been used before it was put in the book. They don't comprehend these things, man. That shit is wild. Ah,
Yeah, I think he just thought that old Noah Webster came up with that description all by himself. Like he was the only one observed niggas and said, "Hey, they kind of got a copper color. We're just gonna call these the copper color races of America." No, a lot of people verified that brother before he was able to make that. Before he was able to make that definition, he couldn't just slid that in there and leave it for the public to make a determination. Because niggas would have been like, "Where are you getting this copper color shit from?" You know what I'm saying?
exactly,
All right.
exactly, man. But my time runneth out, man. It was good building with you on this situation. Trying to pull Chris Harris scary ass out of uh out of hiding on the cop situation and the Native Americans and the Native Egyptians having somewhat of the same story. I'm gonna break it down one day and show it. Like, damn, 19th century. Here come these people who they call Native Egyptians. Wow, yep, they're saying that those people who came in the 19th century always been there. Wow, same thing with the Native Americans. They say they came on a goddamn ice skating ring or some shit. Put something
Right.
together
So
nice, man. Crush that shit.
yeah, I see the comparison you trying to draw. You trying to say that the light skin, the pale skin that's in Egyptian now claiming to be all the original Egyptians when we know damn well they not the original. No way. No way. Them white folks well, we already know what it is.
Yes,
Uh,
sir. And the same thing that they're doing over there, where they say, oh, the ancient Egyptians were Caucasians. They were Caucasians that came down out of the Mediterranean. And then you got Chris Harrison. No, they started mixing in this dynasty, in this dynasty, in this dynasty. But then we got the Coriators that'll say all that translation shit about the dynasties is inaccurate. And they agree with some of the stuff Chris Harris says, but they'll say that those key things are inaccurate. And Chris Harris will literally side with people he calls pseudo to defend this argument. All of a sudden, Chris Harris will step in the pseudo thing by saying, nah, they weren't Caucasian, that everyone was African and everyone was melanated. Oh, now you say that, but when it comes to over here with Native Americans, you're going to say that we didn't make the ice skating challenge. You know what I'm saying? And Bering Strait, bro. Nah.
All right, then, Lotus. Been good chopping it up with you. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out how I exit this motherfucker. I think I got it. All right.
All right, brother. Take it easy, Smoke. Peace.